going to check the sound to see everything works well.
Yeah, so
Also,
that's one of the
share the
viewers
link.
from both remote viewing Discord
Yes,
and
yes, I've heard. Yeah, she introduced herself to me.
yeah, she's I've worked with her. Well, thank you, man. So it's kind of uh, being on air is a lot of people don't want to be on air, which I understand. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
the nice thing is we have the text capability, so even if they don't want to be on the air, they can text. So we can pull up the text screen, and
Sure,
no big deal.
sure,
So
sure.
all right, so how many people actually? One, two, three, four, five. So we got five people in there for today.
Five? I think only four. Four
No,
people submitted their data.
no, I
I
submitted.
think only.
I submitted too. So I mean, I had two sheets. So, but that's okay.
Your name is on it. Two.
Is my name on there? Oh, it's not on there.
I put your I put your Twitter handle.
I can't remember what my Twitter handle is. Um,
No worries.
it used to be Hot Tub Trouble. I don't know what it is now. I think it's Screaming into the Night One or something like that. I don't know. But yeah,
Because
I get
yeah, I always hate.
way too much trouble for
Mhm.
Hot Tub Trouble. So I mean,
Yeah, if you want to change it, then yeah, just tell me your new Twitter account, and I'll put it. The
yeah,
reason why I want to use Twitter handle is for for people interested in our activity, for them making them more easier to find you.
right. And that's the thing is with as much as I got going on, it's so hard for me to get over to Twitter. And I know Facebook is just it's a nightmare for me to navigate around Facebook. So
Uh huh.
Twitter is a little bit easier, but man, I tell you what, it's still hard for me. I don't know why. But then
For
again,
what I can see,
I haven't tried.
for social media platforms, in terms of the remote viewing community, I would say Twitter is the best. Then Instagram comes second. Yeah, because I only see people on these two social media platforms talking about remote viewing subjects, related subjects. On other platforms, no. So I would say Twitter is a must if you want to present yourself in this community.
Right. So this is Dumberdole's.
Yeah, ideogram. His style.
Yeah, but look up top. You see that line up top where it looks like waves or oceans or mountains or something?
Yes. This time it looks like more like more like a view or something instead of just simple ideograms.
Yeah, that's pretty cool looking.
So let's see what he get. It's energy and complex for, and this target purple, and LL is person or ultraviolet, and baby sketch, heart beating, feels smooth thin surface, LL person in capsule, and it's a hard surface running in this fast. So I would say it's a
Yeah.
this target could be a person related target. And smell soil feels what? I cannot recognize this word.
I can't either. That S. It looks like feels and.
A metallic object, but I don't know
Oh,
what
oh,
that S word is.
I don't either. It looks like
Whole object.
smells. It smells like a metallic
Mm-hmm,
object. Feels and smells maybe.
mm-hmm.
I don't know. He's on.
And
Maybe he'll send us a note on. Yep, he sent us a note.
yeah, and that's also a reason why we need AI for help because different people have different writing styles, and it's easier for AI to just help us recognize most of the words. yeah, information.
Yeah.
And man moving in boat to a pirate ship looking in telescope. It's also an LOL. Lots of LOLs in his session.
Yeah. Yeah.
LOL within I don't know what that word.
Where are you at? Field the ALL with the children's animation?
Oh, children's animation.
Yeah.
Yeah, and looks like a beetle with wheels, and it's a green one. Feels organic, but not quite. And on the right hand side, he drew I will say it's more like a car. Looks like a children's toy.
Hmm.
So in this thing, I would say it's yeah, people action and also some stuff, but we don't know. And the second page, hard, flat, man-made, white, and what's that?
Bringing.
Bring feels feels woman, old LL, witch, fast, jail, feels what's that?
I think that's cellophane. You know, like what you wrap your food with.
Cellophane.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Feels cellophane. LL chaste, white dress, delicate, large room size. LL which broomstick, circling, white and encloses, feels organic. So again, human activity. And below is gaslight, dark blue, white door, and blue sky. I don't know what that's.
Yeah, see
lukewarm. Erratic
lukewarm, yeah.
movement. Yeah, lukewarm. Erratic movement like smoke flying. And what's that?
Black?
B word.
Is that black?
Probably black and powder. And on the right hand side is LL girl dances. White girl dancer. Giant steps on wooden floor. LL Super Mario. Round shaking heart. Little man running away in fear. And on the right hand side of the page, searching, looking, moving. I don't know what that little object is. It's a blue object with a shiny red dot on it.
It looks like an octopus or a squid. Wonder what that is.
Mm-hmm.
That looks like a net.
Yeah. Play, made up, recreational, rain, imaginative, mechanical, box. I think it looks like a person holding a cap or a large blanket or something.
It looks like he's throwing a net. I mean, it really literally looks like a net.
Oh yeah. It also looks like a net. Maybe he is fishing.
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking.
Uh-huh. And the last page is small wooden toys or parts laying around. Flat action, playful, close space. Imaginative child looking at me. End of session. That's an interesting session. But I can also tell you one thing I noticed from looking at our data, recent data, not just for this one, but yeah, for the past few weeks. I also noticed that one common thing for our remote viewing data is I would say lack of coherence because we cannot we see we see like so many different kinds of stuff in one session. Yeah, you see, oh, it's a man here, oh, it's a person there, oh, it's an object here, it's another object there. It's all over the place. I don't know if that's because we are not professional remote viewers, or is due to the target. It's due to the nature of the target. I don't know, but I would say for ordinary people or untrained people like us, maybe that's how we would present our data, because we always get some noises. It's
But see, that's the thing is
yeah. It's
I've been talking to a lot of the professionals, and they get a lot of
mm-hmm,
noise too. So even the professionals um, get massive amounts of noise, and they get massive amount of castle building, and they get everything that we fight with. I know that they get too. It's just that
mm-hmm,
they are better able to separate the noise from the you know the
mm-hmm,
reality. So 6 or 7 pages later, they can kind of ferret out what is noise and what's not. Whereas we're like one
mm-hmm.
page, and it's just an absolute chaos.
Oh.
So
Oh, okay, I see. Because I have seen, we will have seen sessions from like professionals like Future Forecasting Group or Farsight. I always notice that their data are very, coherent. They are very coherent. They have a you can almost tell there is a story or a general uh general thing in their data, but in our data, it's almost always like scattered around.
right,
You
right.
you can you cannot get a
Well,
yeah.
watch David's yeah Dave's he puts
Mm-hmm,
out videos on how he does a remote view, and he's very talented at remote viewing. Nina does the same thing.
mm-hmm,
She's putting out a video where I was able to watch her not do the view, but explain her notes, and
mm-hmm,
she gets a lot of noise too, but she's able to kind of compartmentalize and kind of work around the noise. It's funny to
mm-hmm,
watch the two work around the noise, and then looking,
mm-hmm,
because I know what the target is afterwards while I'm watching the video. I can see them working around the the data and working with it to incorporate the actual data. Oh, Lee, there we go. Incorporate the
yep,
actual data instead of the noise. It's fascinating to watch professionals in action, and I really believe Dave and Nina, when I watch them, are professionals, and they're
mm-hmm.
they're very good. So this is Mana, right?
So oh yeah, this one is from Manas. Jet jetpack, pogo stick, baseball field, and vehicle. That's a big word. Vehicle, like sparse or old farm equipment, may be rusty. So that's his data. Very simple description, but I would say in sections like this, I see coherence.
Right.
Yeah, because you don't see information scattered around. It's in this one, man, almost almost. I don't know if that's a guess or a random guess or not or what, but at least I can see that he is trying to express. Oh, it's a maybe it's a field, it's a man-made environment, and there is a vehicle, and that's the focus of this target.
Well, that's the thing
Yeah,
is he's literally trying to say what it is that he's looking at. And
yeah.
that's the problem when you look at some of the data and try to extrapolate, then you get
Mm-hmm.
that's when you get wrong answers. But it
Yeah. In most
works.
cases, it's a wrong answer.
Yeah.
In
So
most cases, if you are too certain about what the target could be, in most cases, it is you are wrong.
yep, yep. So this is
So
mine.
it's your data.
Yeah. So at first I thought it was the Lincoln statue. I saw
Uh huh.
old steps. I saw pillars, columns. So I'm thinking, God, maybe that's a Lincoln statue. So I clearly saw a Lincoln statue. So I wrote AOL.
Mhm.
I saw
Mhm.
grass, water, height. I thought it was a White House. So I got rid of all that.
Mhm.
And then the next one is I've got a structure again with a white roof. And now I've got a central person
Uh huh.
with a lot of other people around it, and then you have
Uh huh.
a second group of people who are not
Mhm.
not happy with this first guy. The first guy is is trying to say something, and the second guy is not happy with the first guy. And you can see that the second
Oh.
guy has actual people in the crowd around the
Uh-huh.
first guy. So I know this is probably an AOL too, but it was really,
Mm-hmm.
it felt like this is part of the target.
Uh-huh.
Some
So
sort of
human activity
yeah, human activity
and
and a disagreement.
yeah, human and they are in disagreement with each other.
Yeah. So I really couldn't. It was either a presidential debate or it was a
It could be.
yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And this is mine. For me, I immediately I get a visual from after I try to probe this target number. Is I feel like I was in a desert, and I I I feel that it's in the United States. I don't know how many deserts are there, but it's a desert like environment, and I see a very long road going from horizon to from one end of the horizon to the other end. So it's a very long road, and I can see a truck running on that road, and so but I'm not so sure whether it's a truck. So I think it's a moving vehicle, and that vehicle comes from a man-made structure. My deduction is a warehouse or a factory, and so maybe that moving vehicle is carrying something because it comes from that place, a warehouse or a factory, and he is moving somewhere. And at the end of session, I see a person is in a building and looking out from a window, and this person wears a hat and he's waving hands and looking out. That's the last thing I see in my data. But honestly, I don't know what the target is.
Well, it's kind of interesting though. I mean, even Mana said wet sand. So if you look
Mm-hmm.
underneath his thing, he says it feels. Here you got
Yeah,
a
grainy sand. That's wet like structure.
right.
Yeah, he
So
said it. He said that in the Discord.
yeah. So that was kind of interesting because you guys both got a structure. You got sand.
Mm-hmm.
So, well, what do we got for a target?
Okay. Uh, actually, this target is from one of our member.
Really?
It's from yeah. I try not to let you guys know because renamed his number. Otherwise, you will know that is the same target number. So let me check. His ID is space case zero. Space case zero.
All right.
And
Go space case.
I remember the other day that I yeah, because one day he tried to test a target to us, and that target number is a very long one. It's 950115910366320528848. That's a I don't know how many digits are there. So what do I do with this target number? And because I remember this Monday I asked anyone interested in assigning a target for this week, and Space Cat Zero just spoke up and gave a very long target number,
Right.
and he also said something. I don't quite remember what he said, but I also wanted people to remove it without being front loaded. So I asked ChatGPT to give me a math formula that can transform his number into 8 digits random number, and ChatGPT just wrote a simple formula for me. So that's what I get. It's 47054007. There, I don't know I don't care about the formula, but that's basically what ChatGPT gave me. So before it's like a 12 or 14 digits number, and after ChatGPT is yeah, it's 8 digits.
Right.
So okay, let me see. Oh my god.
Oh, come on, come on, get it.
Uh, so this is the target. I would say I don't know if we I don't really think we hit it.
Yes, I was right. The
I'm now
FlexLiner. Oh my
copying.
god, I was so right. Oh my god.
I'm now copying the messages he sent me. I try not to look at it before I do my session.
Wow.
I try not to look at it. I can, but I didn't look at it. So
That's wow. So
so
there were two groups of
this
people
one
on
is
this
the
one.
target.
Man, Dumble, are you looking at that? Look at that. You know, there was two groups of people on. There was the one group was sitting there who was very adamant about this gravitic propulsion system, and then you had the government group that was very adamant about keeping this under wraps. So while one guy's literally trying to say, "Hey, let's go out and do this and let's build this," you have the other
Oh,
group trying to put him down. So, oh my god,
uh-huh.
yeah, wow! I did not hit the target at all, but I hit the group that was
Well,
behind
I
the
would say
target.
it's a yeah, it's a I would say it's not a direct strike, but yeah, you somehow
This is right out of my
hit
childhood.
yeah get some relevant it's very get some I can definitely see that people are arguing over over
Yeah,
this topic or this vehicle,
right.
and I can see that
There was a big
in
flap.
in
It was terrible.
in in Dumbledore's session, he also drew it looks like a truck a children's toy, but it looks like a truck to me. I also drew a truck,
Oh my god, you were
and
right too. You were look at. Okay, 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 okay. Because I know a lot about this particular thing.
in Mana's data, he said specifically one word, vehicle. That's the only that's the only word he wrote. Yeah, it's not he didn't type it, but he drew it. Yeah, he wrote it on his I believe it's
It gets.
either his tablet or his cell phone.
Hey,
I don't know, but he
do you see where it says
yeah
like Sparks?
he hand wrote this word, vehicle.
Oh my god, like Sparks or old farm equipment. The whole basis of the system is it's high voltage. It's a high voltage drive, and so
Uh-huh.
it would smell rusty or oxidized, and it would have sparks. I mean, he friggin' nailed it. Oh my god, that's you nailed the location.
We didn't I still would say we didn't hit the target because none of us get something like a UFO
I don't.
or
I'll tell you what. I don't care at this point because I think you hit it. You nailed the location. Um, Mana hit the
I get
basics.
a warehouse, a factory, and a desert-like environment, and
Yeah,
a vehicle
except
moving along a very long road. And that's what I get.
right.
And in that mana session, he wrote down vehicle. That's the only word he wrote. And in Dumbledore's drawing, he also drew a truck, but he also noted that it looks like a children's toy. So I can see that they maybe they are
You see on okay
people.
the page that I'm looking at
Mm-hmm,
says erratic movement like snake or smoke flying black. Okay,
mm-hmm,
Out in was it Groom Lake? Wherever they test these things. That's kind of what it looks like because
I don't know.
the
Area
pilots can't
51.
control right, but the pilots can't control this smoothly, so it gets an erratic movement.
Mm-hmm.
It literally looks, it dances around because the early versions were very erratic. Which is broomstick. That's a great description, Double.
Yeah.
Wow, looks like a beetle on wheels. Wow.
Yes.
Oh my
Beetle
god.
with wheels, and He also wrote that feels smooth, thin surface, and LL person in capsule. So I think that's a very good description of what the target is used for and how it may looks like in it piloting this thing.
I think Dumble has just an absolute ton of data on this. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
from the basic description, the looks like a beetle on wheels, and
Mm-hmm.
uh, and the smell and the ultraviolet, the colors. Oh, wow! Even to the movement, that's so awesome. Now the thing is what everybody's going to say is, well, it's just a representation, and
Yeah.
it's not an actually built structure. I mean, nobody built that.
Uh-huh.
So, um, if if the government comes out and says that this is what we built, they this is not what they built, but this is a representation of the FlexLiner. But I mean, if the government has these things, which I think they do, then this would be a close representation of what it would look like. This is not an actual design. This is somebody's representation.
Uh-huh.
So, God, this is wow. I seriously, this picture that you're looking at right there is what I grew up
Uh-huh.
on back in the 70s and 80s, and that's amazing. That's just amazing. Okay, well, you're right. Nobody actually hit this diagram,
Uh-huh.
but considering where they're working on this object, everybody hit it. You hit it because it's being built out in the desert. Mana hit it because it is an actual vehicle that sparks and smells like rust. And then Dumble hit it because he described everything about it. So while we were wrong,
Mm-hmm.
all of us did not hit the target per se. We definitely knocked it out of the park. Oh my god, that was good. That is oh, I gotta let I gotta let him know that that was a great target, man. That was an
Uh-huh.
awesome target. So let's see. Somebody's trying to. Okay, let's open the tests. So, anyways, but yeah, I think you're right. I think nobody actually hit the target, but damn, I'm telling you, that is awesome. So, and it's so funny to see your data in there too, because your data actually represents the of where it's being built, and the person in the building waving is
Mm-hmm.
I is somebody in charge of the whole project.
Mm.
So that's cool.
Uh, yeah, possible. Yeah, it's possible.
Yeah, very yeah. I don't know for sure because hey, I'm just a simple guy, but yeah, if you're going to build something like that,
We don't know the whole story.
well, the
No one
deal
knows.
is if you're going to build something like that, you put it out in the public. You make sure it's in a not hidden location that's going to be scrutinized, and you make sure that
Mm-hmm.
it's easy access for logistics. So you want to be able to load it. You also want the person in
Mm-hmm.
charge to be semi-friendly and nondescript.
Mm-hmm.
So kind of like Bigelow, you know.
Mm-hmm.
You get somebody like Bigelow in there to build this thing.
Mm-hmm.
He has a company
Mm-hmm.
that's designed. So personally, I think that is Bigelow. But that's
Mm-hmm.
just my thought. Oh my god, that was a great target. So
Yeah,
do
it's
we want to
a.
say that's a miss or do we want to say that's an actual hit?
I would say it's a miss.
Oh, okay.
we
Uh,
we can we cannot pretend ourselves to be professionals. We are not that good. Yeah,
no,
it's
no.
it's a it's a miss. It's a miss.
Okay.
But
I
anyway, I'm still glad that we get a bunch of good data, and yeah, I still think we did quite well on this one.
yeah, yeah.
Whether we actually hit the target or not, it's not actually not that important to me. Yeah.
Well, I think one of the cool things here is the fact that we can look at our data, which is a miss,
Mm-hmm.
and we can see that we didn't hit the target, but we hit and we danced all around it. So maybe somebody who wants something for us to look at doesn't want the
Mm-hmm.
target. They want us to dance
Mm-hmm.
around and figure out where it's at, who's involved, how many
Yeah,
people
it's
involved.
possible. Yeah, I can
Because,
also see that maybe it has some applications too.
well, I mean, if you look at my data alone, right, I've got two groups of
Mm-hmm.
people. I've got,
Mm-hmm.
I've got two groups of people. So now I'm looking at the people involved and not
Mm-hmm.
the target itself.
Mm-hmm.
And Mana is looking at the target. Dumble is looking at the location and the target, and you're looking at the location. So maybe
It's
if we get
it's more like
hired,
some kind. Yeah, some backstories behind the target.
right? So maybe we got if we ever get people who pay us for targets that we can say, hey, look, we're going to give you as much data as we can, and it's going to include
Mm-hmm.
these aspects: everything around you, everything around the
Mm-hmm.
target, yada yada yada. So
Yes.
that is absolutely interesting. All right. You don't have the. You got Dumble's geolocate? Uh, no, you don't got it yet. You want to throw
Oh,
Dumbledore's
sorry.
geolocate on there?
Give me a second. Where is it? Oh,
It's under the.
geolocate.
Yeah.
Oh, number 10. I didn't do this one. Sorry.
Oh, it's
Sorry
okay.
about that.
Oh, you got time, man.
Uh, so this is the geolocation data from Dumbledore. Oh, only he submitted data for this one.
Oh, here. Did you read the messages on Discord or on the video channel for Discord? Dumble's
I
saying,
can tell you. I can tell you most of the time. No.
yeah, it. He said the thing looked like an inverted bell. Okay, so what do you think? Where do you think this geo target's at?
You mean right now?
Yeah, why not?
Give me a second. Give me a second.
Mm-hmm.
Give me a second. So you have a. You sure you have a target, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm trying to find it right
You have a
now.
target location. You have a target location.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm now trying to.
Trying to find my target right now. Oh,
Yeah,
I
Jeff Geo target 10 and see what I get.
that is so weird. I can't find it. All right, so I'll just have to pull it up.
If to me it feels like a natural environment. I feel there's a large body of water, but it's not like not like an ocean, but it's a lake, and it's a lake in the mountains and in a high altitude area. That's the visual I get, and blue sky and mountainous terrain, yeah, and the remote area. That's all I get from my imagination.
Okay. Well, the front loading was beer.
What's that?
Beer, like the drink beer. That was the front load. So on my number 10 target for the geolocate, the front load was beer.
There's a front loading. I didn't see it.
That's okay because you've already got some of the details. So you got
No, I only get a natural environment
right,
and a big lake and in the mountains. That's all I get.
right, right, and that's what I'm saying. That's part of this. Um, that's part of this. So I mean, so with that front load, can you think of anything else?
Beer.
That was the front load, yeah.
It doesn't make sense.
I know. Oh, don't worry about it making sense. Just now that you know you're front loaded with beer, think about it. I mean, don't worry about what you said before. Just say my target is a beer, and it's a geolocate. So now, what does this tell you?
I have no idea. I have no idea.
All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you real quick, and you're going to go, wait a sec, that doesn't make sense. Okay, can you see that?
I can see the picture. What's that?
If you look, uh, if you look on that little logo, it says Rainier Beer. This is the old Rainier Beer factory in Washington State. It's up by Seattle. Okay. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back and I'm going to show you where this is at, because you see the nice picture with the Rainier beer can and the glacier.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So the Rainier Brewery near Seattle was very popular, and that is my geolocate. It's located right on or right next to Lake Washington and a bunch of mountains, well, hills. So
Really? I don't. From what I can see, your picture is an urban environment.
it is. It is an urban environment. So give me 1 second. So what we're going to do is we're going to go down to Seattle
Mm-hmm.
and Tully's Coffee. So this is up by my house, okay? So we want Rainier Beer. Or how about Tully's Coffee? It's right on the edge of a lake. Okay, you see right here. This
Oh,
is
okay.
this is where the old Rainier Beer thing, right next to the freeway. And so you're driving down the
Okay.
freeway, and it literally it's literally right off the road. So the deal about it is my biggest thing is you're right next to, you have a beautiful view of Mount Rainier. You're right next to two bodies of water, and you have a beautiful view of the mountains. I mean, you got Mount Rainier, Mount Adams, all these volcanoes. I mean, it's a gorgeous view.
Mm-hmm.
So it. Let me see if I can find Rainier Beer Factory. Huh. Not let me. I don't know. Can't do anything. Well, that crashed. Anyways,
Don't worry. Don't worry.
the Rainier Beer has been around for a long time. One of the big things about Rainier Beer is they've really focused on outdoor, being outdoor,
Mm-hmm.
and it's amazing that this little factory and the beer Rainier Beer is so not known. Here's another picture from
Mm-hmm.
1908. This is 1908. This is before the city was built up, and you can see that this,
Oh.
yeah, before the city was built up. Now, of course,
Mm-hmm.
it's downtown, but 1908, Rainier Beer started pumping out a lot of beer. So,
Mm.
very interesting. So, anyways, on that one, um, it is right next to a body of water. And Dumble here, can you pull up Dumble's information?
Uh-huh.
Theme park ride.
Machine sound. Brewery. Beer. People coming out of a hatch in Holland. Feels sharp metal arc and Disney theme park ride. Smells dirt.
Yeah, breweries have they have a very distinctive smell.
Uh-huh.
The yeast is just very it's almost like bread, but really bad bread or something. Dwarf in
Mm-hmm.
tunnel. Yeah, so they got safety gear. They got feels sharp metal. There's people coming. So the people coming out of hatches. The brewery that I went to, you've got huge tanks that people walk into
Mm-hmm.
and out of all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Um, there's a section in the brewery that you can actually go into, order fresh beer, and it really is kind of like a theme park because you walk in and they'll take you on tours of the brewery.
Mm-hmm.
Here's where we brew the beer. Here's where we separate the beer. Here's where the people get drunk and fall down. I mean, it's great.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't have his data put up or pulled up for that. Hey, throw his data for the Google locate.
Yes, I put it
Did you?
just below uh
Yeah, I'm not seeing it.
below the collected data. Not below the target review. Before the target review.
Oh, gotcha. Okay. So yeah, so he got some aspects of this.
Mm-hmm.
AOL Oktoberfest Brewery beer, right? And that's what I was hoping people would look at is they'd see the beer, and they'd say, Oktoberfest, because I wanted people to get confused between Germany and Seattle. So it's pretty funny that he would bring up Oktoberfest because that's what I was trying to trick people into.
Mm-hmm.
So, uh, and then it looks like some missile launched in cycles, looping back to where they started. I don't. Someone turning a wooden wheel. So he got off the mark with this one. Some of his data was really
Uh-huh.
good, but looks like a tourist bar. Yeah, yeah. So it's funny to see that he actually did what I wanted him to do by looking at the wrong
Mm-hmm.
country, just because of how famous Germany is for their Oktoberfest. While I concentrated and focused on Rainier in Seattle, he was
Mm-hmm.
seeing a different country. So
Mm-hmm.
that's really cool. He did get some aspects, but it was a good miss. So, but you did really good too because you actually called out the water. You called out the water and the trees, and there are just an absolute ton of water and trees right there, and mountains. We really are a city. Well, I shouldn't say we. That city does have a lot of trees and mountains and hills. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, that was a really good geolocate. But
Mm-hmm.
all right, well, What else we got?
Mm-hmm. I think that's all for this week.
Okay. So I did a. I was going to show you.
Mm-hmm.
I did a ARV for. I think his name is Ben. He
Mm-hmm.
this guy advertises on Reddit a lot, so that he does ARV for some kind of stock and
Mm-hmm.
crypto. So
Mm-hmm.
every week he sends me 7 or 5 days worth of ARVs to do, and I do them.
Mm-hmm.
My score dropped. I mean, I went from 77% right to about
Mm-hmm.
45% right. It just kind of just pew right down the toilet. And then I looked.
45% is more like renting gas.
Yeah, exactly. It was terrible. So I looked on my score for this week, and
Mm-hmm.
on Monday I got 100%.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what I got for Tuesday and Wednesdays, but Tuesdays was only partially corrected. So I
Mm-hmm.
know on Tuesday I got whatever they hit. I mean, all my answers out of the ones that they did correct or they checked off, it was 100%. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm hoping I pulled my overall score for ARV up to at least 50%, which is really abysmal.
Mm-hmm.
But still,
Mm-hmm.
we'll see what happens. I'm really trying to make sure I dedicate and focus some time so I can keep my score up. But I tell you, if something happens during the day or I get stressed out, my score just gets tanked out. It's awful. So it really does affect my overall view.
Mm-hmm.
So, oh, and did you also see the video I put out yesterday?
You mean which video?
Um, it's called. Hold on for
This car
one
running.
second.
When I was at the owner's house, I couldn't get it started. I couldn't even get it to turn over because this.
The video is called "The Ruble: A Remote View into the Value and the Short-Term
Oh,
Future of Russia's Dollar."
yes. I it doesn't look very good to me.
Well, the deal with
Well,
that, the
I'm not. I'm
yeah,
not very concerned about that because I don't hold rubles.
well, but
Not good
that's the
for
thing.
that country.
So it's not that I'm voting for Russia. I'm looking at it as monetary gain, right?
Uh huh.
When you hit rock bottom
Uh huh.
and you have a currency associated with your name,
Uh
and
huh.
something happens where you're no longer at rock bottom, your currency is going to go up. So I'm thinking,
Mm-hmm.
why not make a profit on the good fortunes of somebody else? And
Mm-hmm.
it's like buying Bitcoin or any of the other coins. It's just somebody else's dollars. Why not take
Mm-hmm.
advantage? You know, it's almost like
Yeah.
gambling, and I suck at gambling.
Gambling is never good.
No, I'm terrible at it, and I don't know why. But it was an interesting view because I it was kind of like a probability thing. So the whole view was not this is going to happen, but what if
Mm-hmm.
this happens? What if
Mm-hmm.
these conditions are met? Well, if these conditions are met, I make a profit.
Mm-hmm.
I have $500 at this price. What's the
Mm-hmm.
$500 at this price going to do if this condition's met? Oh, the other thing is,
Mm-hmm.
uh, Dave has put a prediction for December. So a group of us got together and put in predictions for.
Yes.
So
Yes.
I called out an earthquake
I've
off.
seen you.
Yeah, and
I've seen you on his live stream
yeah,
with others.
yeah. So I put
There were four people. Four people. I remember.
right, and it's amazing. A lot of their data is coming out too. It's like the somebody got shot in the leg or something. I mean, until the end of December rolls around, it's going to be kind of interesting. But one of the things I called out was an earthquake off the coast of Japan, and it
Mm-hmm.
was a six plus. So I don't know if in the later in December there's going to be a bigger earthquake off of Japan,
Mm-hmm.
but the one off of California was a
Mm-hmm.
7. So maybe I got the coast wrong. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
And the other thing was the FBI are looking for a small cell of people, and they're going to tag them and bag them. And with this guy going around killing the CEO, maybe that's who they're going to catch. I'm just thinking
Mm-hmm.
a small group of people are responsible for this, and maybe it. I'm right. Maybe they're going to find this guy and the group that he's with, and make a couple arrests. I don't know. I just think it was interesting that we did predictions, and
Mm-hmm.
some of them are. It looks like they're possibly coming true. So
Mm.
the scary ones are the impact predictions, and in mine it's the north coast of the North Sea. It's a North Sea oil rig that has issues.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the scary one. Hopefully that doesn't come. I'm hoping that one doesn't come to pass. So
Mm.
that would be bad. Anyways,
Well, mm-hmm.
it was fun. Actually, and the other thing is I had to post it here on our Discord. Is somebody said in July, I think,
Mm-hmm.
the European Union, the EU is getting ready to do something. I don't know what they're getting ready to do. It would be interesting to do a future prediction for
Mm-hmm.
the month of June or July.
That would be too far ahead, in my opinion. Remote viewing only works in my opinion, probably for a short period of time, like 1 to 3 months of prediction in advance of the event. It's possible, but further out, the probability of hitting the target was dropped significantly. That's what I think
Well,
of it.
yeah, but I mean, Nostradamus did it. Why can't we? I mean, granted, Nostradamus was so much better, but
Uh-huh.
it would be interesting to have a dedicated Discord that has nothing but a look at June and July, because I don't know what the EU's planning, and I can't be front loaded with anything because I don't watch European news, so
Mm-hmm.
we could think about it, have it a big target, and keep adding to it. So,
Mm-hmm.
but yeah, future predictions are cool but scary. They're scary because if you hit the target almost, or hit the target halfway,
Mm-hmm.
you start looking at all your other predictions, and if they're bad, that now you're like, oh my god, I got this one right.
Actually, doesn't feel good.
Yeah, it
Sometimes
really doesn't.
you would prefer not hitting the target.
Exactly. Especially when it comes to major pain and suffering. I would just really don't want to predict that.
Yeah, it can become, I would say, quite almost very pressured to do this kind of job.
Yeah, it would be nice to get paid for it, though. I would like to get paid for it.
Uh-huh.
But I don't know. That would be a hard one to. It would be a really hard one to do.
For me, I actually think that instead of getting payment, it's easier for people to speculate. Like on polling market, people always speculate, who is going to be the next president of the United States? Who will Bitcoin hit $100,000 on certain days? Things like that. People like to gamble. They like to speculate, but they probably are not very willing to pay for remote viewers to do a forecast for them. But they like to gamble.
Right.
So in my opinion, it's easier for to get money on by working around with people's habits, not by asking directly for for them, from them.
Well, with the advent of chat GTP, it's going to be easier
Uh-huh.
for people to go, oh, look, this is what chat GTP pulled up. You know,
Oh, it's possible. Yeah.
yeah, because chat GTP is going to take all the available data and put it into
Mm-hmm.
what it considers a viable concept. What the remote viewer does is takes the data from what he can gather, and that's where I think chat GTP and a group of remote viewers, if somebody can come up with a concept, if we
Mm-hmm.
can combine the two, oh my god, it would be a powerhouse. But the
I'm very certain this will happen someday, but not very fast. But I can see it happening.
yeah, I can too. I can too, and that's a scary thing. I don't think they're going to get rid of the human element. I think it's just going to be pushed down to a point where it's nice to have. It's not necessary because Chat GTP will eventually, you know, not become self sufficient or self aware, but Chat GTP will be able to make predictions based on all the current events.
Yes, because as far as I know about I have very limited knowledge about alien technologies because we don't see them in our daily lives. But as far as I know, their technologies uh, interfaces with human consciousness, or maybe the consciousness of their race. Yeah, it's a so I can totally see that. Yeah, one day AI will be so powerful that we humans almost become AI sensors for it, and he can simply pull information from us
Right.
and get a forecast or a prediction about various types of events, because we all know that big events are all created by many participants, and if you can read their minds and see what they are all thinking about, then you can, yeah, I can see that AI can make predictions just like remote viewers do. Yeah, but in a different way.
Yeah.
Now it's not that AI will do remote viewing. I don't think AI can do remote viewing, but he can sort of do similar stuff by reading tapping into our human consciousness and read our minds. Yeah, it's possible, entirely possible.
Yeah, the combination and marriage of the human psyche and the AI will be
Mm-hmm.
interesting, and it will
Yeah, because
definitely
yeah,
make things faster.
yeah, billions of people are using AI on a daily basis. Because, so yeah, it will happen. It's just a matter of time.
Yeah, the nice thing is I'm one of those people that won't use it. You know, I will let everybody else use it. I am just no.
No, never.
Well, it's not never. It's just I'm not comfortable with the concept. Just because I know what it's going to do. I mean, I don't even have to remote view to see the effect of long term bad effect of using AI.
Well, I have to say I'm actually more pessimistic than you. I already feel that no matter what you do, it's useless. Yeah, even if you use it, then it's good. If you don't use it, then AI can still track you to some degree,
Right.
and yeah, it actually makes no sense to say no to this tool because you cannot stop it.
Well, right, but the deal with it is uh, actual interaction versus watching and
Oh yeah,
predicting.
yeah.
There is a major gap right now to where
Mm-hmm.
because I won't and don't use it, they it's
Yeah,
hard for it to predict. You know, later on it'll be there's no point, but right now there's a major difference.
yeah, yeah. I can see that. Oh, here comes our target assigner for this week.
That was a great target, man. That was just absolutely awesome. I don't know if you looked at all the data, but Everybody danced
I
around
didn't
it.
see it.
You didn't see
I figured it was a good target.
Yeah. None of us,
Well,
except for
can't
Dumble.
remember. What?
What's that?
I missed a word there.
We all danced around it. Dumble's the only one that even came close to describing the actual target, the FlexLiner. The FlexLiner was drawn and designed by I can't remember who drew it and designed it, but that was back when I was growing up. So Dumble actually described a lot of the aspects of it, and then me and Lynn and Mana all described aspects of where it's at, who built it, and the forces opposing it and for it. So I mean, we described the aspects around it, and Dumble's pretty much described a lot of aspects of it, along with Mana. Mana described the aspects of it.
Yeah.
Well, I want to get copies of all the data and share it with my physicist friends. Hopefully, there's some clues in there that will help us engineer one properly.
Well, and that was the other thing. So if you, because I was looking at the people behind it. The people responsible for its production and the people that are against it, like the government. If you front load it with the, just say FlexLiner, and use that as a target, and then have people look at the front loaded target, FlexLiner, you actually might get, because we are not physicists at all, having somebody like Mana try to describe the intricate parts of an engine, he's going to give you a general description of how that engine works. Now, maybe you can take that data and extrapolate. But
well, right, because there's a couple different base ways it can work, and I've built most of them already, and I know enough about how somebody would see energy and things like that flowing that
right.
I don't know where the beginning and the end of that machine are. And even little clues like that would help me an enormous amount.
Well, that was the thing, is I recently did I can't remember who I was working for. I recently did a view, I think it's for MR13, describing the shell of one of the crafts. And one of the aspects of the craft was the layered skin. The layered skin had a big part in how this craft functions, because the skin literally conducted the electricity in a particular pattern in a particular pattern around the craft. So it was kind of interesting to it was really interesting to see how the craft worked.
What the hell, man? I came in perfectly.
Yeah. So
yeah,
we are we're still recording, so we're live on
yeah.
So, but yeah, your FlexLiner, I mean, having a bunch of people look at that FlexLiner with front load would be the way to go, because they're going to pick up aspects of the damn thing that maybe will help your friends and you see something in a different light. Like this skin has something to do with the sharp edge out here and how the electricity literally goes around the corner and isn't arcing. It's not doing this like it should. It's literally being blocked by something to prevent this internal arc, which would fry everybody and everything on the inside. I mean, shit, you put a high voltage on something and you have a sharp corner, you've got basically like a Tesla wand, or the Frankenstein lab thing, I forget what it's called, the Jacob's ladder. The Jacob's ladder's got two rods at an angle, and the two rods have the spark going in between. And you would have the same thing in that design unless something blocks it. And something is blocking it because it's due to the way the hull is built up.
The skin effect thing is super interesting. I've been doing a lot of research into what do you call that? Eddy currents inside metals.
Right.
And the skin effect is how you make that happen. And the experiments have been infuriating because I can't find it here. I'd show you a video of it. But I built a 2-inch, I wrapped coils around a 2-inch iron cube. It's just pure iron. And when I did a rotating field in one direction and an asymmetrical magnetic field in the other, I got reactionless thrust out of the thing.
Right.
But when I tried to do it as a surface effect item in a rotational system, let me see if I can get my camera, it didn't work at all, and it's just enormously hard to set this stuff up.
Yeah.
And get it to work. How do I flip my camera? Anyway, it's just a little... Oh, I can't figure out how to turn the camera around. Anyway, but it's this stuff is obnoxiously difficult. I can see why, like, an individual probably has little hope of building this, but like a government, even a small government, probably can do it pretty easy.
Well, and that was,
It's just a lot more resources than one person has.
but that was one of the things on my prediction for this month was the fact that the companies like Lockheed, Bigelow, and Boeing don't want to release the information on the UFO crafts is because they're going to make money off it. Why would you release information about something you're going to make just an absolute ton of money on? So they have this technology, and they know how to make it, and they know how to cancel out the known effects. Because they have it, they're not going to release it to the general public. But we know it works because they have it. And my prediction was it won't be released this month due to the big companies saying, no, we want to make money on it first. So the little guys like you are stuck trying to figure this crap out while these guys are over there playing with the real thing. Now, on that note, I'm thinking we're right on the edge of being able to do this in a lab in somebody's backyard. So it will be interesting. And that's where the viewers are going to come in to help people like you who have big brains, figure this stuff out. I'm not sure how we're going to do it, but we can.
Well, I mean, you remind me of another target I've got that would be super interesting. Anyway, yeah.
Well, I'll tell you what. Let me.
The reason why.
Let me just say the interesting targets that we can get on this disc or the contest would be great because this target was awesome just because of the variety of the data. So if you've got something else similar, it would be awesome to put it on as a target as well to see just how much we dance around the actual target, or if we can actually pick up your target, which may have.
Well, I mean, I don't know how much front loading you want on the other idea without giving it away, but the reason why I followed all of this and have been pushing to figure it out for so long is I have seen things happen in front of me that shouldn't be possible if normal physics was correct. And people can be a naysayer as much as they want. I'll never believe them because I've seen it. And it's that, that's what drove me to do this for so many years, because normal people don't spend 30 years on a single project.
Right. Well, but and
with no success.
That's the thing. Physics are known studies of a known aspect of science. They're tried, true, and tested. Now, it doesn't mean we know everything. It just means that this is the standard that we live by because this is a known, tested thing. So let's push that boundary and make stuff that works that breaks the laws of physics. So I am down with that. Then somebody's going to look at it and go, no, it's not breaking the law of physics. This is how it works. So they're going to realize that maybe physics can be readjusted. You know, the whole deal with the vacuum, the vacuum quantified field theory, where stuff's popping in and out of existence between two plates. causing a charge that can be drawn off. I mean, for years that was poo-pooed, but now they're finding that it's actually an aspect that can be used, and electricity can be pulled off of it. If you can use that in a large enough number, you can actually power up quite a few things. So
I've seen things like large-scale quantum entanglement that I wouldn't have suspected would have ever been possible had I not seen it myself. And physics says like you can have two pieces of light entangled, but you're not going to have two 10-foot diameter atoms entangled.
Right.
But I've seen it.
The quantum entanglement entails where the two react the same way regardless of the distance. Right? You're talking about how how they react from a distance.
Yep. And somebody recently asked me how I think astrology works, and but those particles showing up, disappearing, looks to me like, well, and I think everything is basically electric. Magnetic is just a perspective view on electric, and oddly enough, it's like a real thing itself, even though it's kind of an illusion.
Right.
And it looks like everything's built to that, and it is just a matter of how big it is, what frequency it's running at. I made a little handheld high voltage device that pulls in what I would call electron charge clusters from the environment. So if you go find a good natural point, it pulls it in. It's incredible. It gives you huge amounts of energy. Indiscriminately, it can cause infections to go out of hand, but it'll charge you up like... Anyway, it's incredible.
It gives your cells a natural boost. Well, semi-natural boost.
Right, so if you just pull them in directly, you get all the sizes, all the frequencies. And if you do something like set up a magnetic vortex, you can sort of sort those so you don't get the ones that are harmful to you. But it looks to me like our whole reality, all the particles that make it up are the same size and the same frequency. And how you have all the astral realms and all that other stuff, they're just simply different sizes and frequencies. And the moment they shift frequency, you can't detect them anymore. It's all stacked realities on top of each other, but the electric and the magnetic are shared, and that's how you get access to them.
Well, and that's what when I do my remote viewing for different people, I'm seeing exactly what you're talking about. I see the person, I see the physical side of this person, then I take a look around them and I see what's around them. So I see the ghosts, I see the watchers, and I see the energies. Now, obviously, these are aspects exactly like you're talking about on a different frequency that you can't see on this particular 3D realm. The thing is the energy that I see and the people and the ghosts that I see are documented. These are known ghosts. I mean, this is actually family members that I'm sitting there drawing, describing, and I have aspects to. Now, the only way that I know that this can happen is if there is another energy realm that we are not picking up. Exactly like what you're saying, it's just a separate branch of physics that we are tapping into that has the whole aspect of energy. Different energy.
And the thing that gets me about it, it's only one more level of complexity to the physics, and it explains all of it.
Yeah, it ties everything together. I mean, it's amazing. It's amazing to think that we're looking at a branch of physics which wraps around the existing three pillars of physics, which can literally tie the three physics into one. Yeah. So,
it's incredible.
Yeah, I'm not a smart man, but I can literally see the whole thing wrapping around each other into a great big, wonderful mess. So, well, Lynn, this is interesting. Do you want to wrap this week up, or do you want to keep going? Because we can sit here and talk physics for hours.
I'm not a very good student when it comes to physics. I have to admit.
Yeah,
So,
it's um, it is interesting, and the fact that he has a Discord channel that deals
mhm.
with a bunch of scientist type guys that are absolutely insane really helps. I mean, his little group of people that he works with are crazy, and it's
Oh, I didn't know about it.
yeah, he actually has a really nice channel.
That's
There are a bunch of scientists that all get together that talk about just absolutely crazy stuff. So it's wonderful. What is the name of your channel, anyways? It's I can't.
I think it's Space Case Zero's server or something like that. It was whatever Discord recommended to me at the time. I just clicked yes.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. So, anyways, Space Case Zero's server. So yeah,
Yeah,
I was part of that for quite a while, and it was
hmm
interesting.
Well, maybe you guys can invite me, and I can take a look.
Yeah,
What's in that channel?
yeah,
yeah, if you like physics, and the big thing that I've done with it is I haven't told a lot of people about it because
Oh,
the
you
naysayers
actually need.
get
You
in the
actually
way.
should. Uh-huh.
no, the naysayers will.
The naysayers get in the way and they ruin it. And that's
No.
why it's invite only for people that aren't naysayers, and the theory people also screw it up. So I've got experimentalists mostly that aren't naysayers. But yeah, you're more than welcome to join. I'll
Yeah,
send you an invite.
it's truly
Well, in
it's
my opinion, I think naysayers are great. Because the more the more the more debunkers are out there, that actually means that we are making an impact on social media channels. So I actually really want to see these naysayers on our YouTube.
it is kind of
Well, the
interesting to
thing
watch it.
is that there's two halves of physics, and if you look at of the scientific method, and if you look at the scientific method, our whole civilization has focused on the verification so much they forgot the exploration of new ideas. And the naysayers will make people exploring new ideas, they'll make them just go somewhere else or quit talking about it, which means the exploration side of all the science has mostly quit happening. So that's why the naysayers end up hurting, like the group I have, because anybody that says anything negative like that, the other people just go away. And that's the problem. Now, when we go post something to the outside world or share it, we really vet it out and make sure that it's something that's right. But still, the experiments I've run up against, some of these things work just fine one month, and I try them the next month, and they don't work at all. I'm
Oh,
running up into the boundaries of reality, and it's frustrating because I did want to find the boundaries of this reality, but not in such a useless way.
so you get inconsistent results over the same methods, so you don't know what to do next.
Well, one of the things about
Great, so that's why.
the energy that he taps into is actually a mobile thing. So some of the energy that he's tapping into looks like a snake wiggling across the landscape. So if you put an instrument out there and you are getting massive amounts of power, then that energy line moves 20 feet to the west. That device won't work next month because this energy ley line, or whatever you want to call it, is now 20 feet to the west. So for a scientific method, his device doesn't work. It's not a provable device.
Uh-huh. I can see that. I can see that.
So he's dealing with a lot of frustration. You need more than just a device. You need a way to actually figure out and track
Yeah.
all
Get the
aspects of it.
bigger picture.
Yeah.
Yeah. Know how it really works. Otherwise, sometimes it will work and sometimes it won't.
Right. And it is interesting. It's like that. Do you remember the name of that device that produced thrust? That was a miracle device that looked like a horn that uses microwave radiation. So this device didn't.
Yeah, NASA called it the
Yeah, the impossible drive. So the impossible drive was a drive made by some guy that used microwave radiation. It produces thrust.
Mm-hmm.
It produces a very small amount of thrust. But the naysayers all said it was because when you run a high voltage into a conductor, it will literally turn against the Earth's gravity, which is true. It will
Mm-hmm.
produce, and that they said that what is what was producing the thrust. So they all discounted the drive. Now they keep checking into it and they keep repeating the same damn experiment and they keep doing the same thing, and they've been coming up with different ideas. Now they're saying, I think it was last year they were saying that the microwave drive, the EMF, the miracle drive actually works, but there's caveats. And I don't know what the current take is on now, but they just keep going round and round and round. My whole deal is put the damn thing in space, fire it up. If it works, great. If it doesn't, hey, you've got a $50 microwave tube sitting in space, you know. But put it in a real life practical
Well,
situation.
there's a document called the Case for the EM Drive that puts it all together fantastically. Well, one of the big concepts that people don't see is that the flow rate of time seems to be a field force, just like electricity or magnetism. And once you incorporate that into all your stuff, it all starts making sense. So all this is stacked realities. It's all made out of some substance. People used to call it the ether, whatever you want to call it. It only has a certain ability to do stuff. It's got like a maximum limit. So the more stuff you have going on, you load microwaves in a place, it's busy displaying that information of the microwaves as opposed to time flowing forward. So if you make an asymmetrical time field, that's what gravity is in the first place. It's caused by an asymmetrical time field. Time flows slower on the Earth and faster in space, and the way gravity gets made is all the matter here. And that's what gravity is in the first place. So of course this EM drive is going to work, but there's way more direct ways to do this. You can do an asymmetrical electrostatic field, and that works even better. And this one company's got up to 60-some% of the rate of gravity in devices that just sit there with constant force being produced. I can give you a patent number if you're interested.
There's so many cool things out there, Lynn. It's just crazy, and it takes crazy people to be able to look at the stuff and assimilate
Yeah.
it in an orderly manner. And aren't you're not a person that does things by the book. So it is cool to talk to people who can literally see outside the boundaries set by civilization. Civilization will tell you A, B, C, and
Yeah.
D. So
Especially those in academia.
yeah, exactly. So it is so much fun talking to smart people and people who have an idea of how something works. It may not be the right idea, but at least they have what they consider the paths or the steps needed to take care of a particular task. These are the people that will they will eventually destroy the world and we will all be in a smoking ball. But at least we'll have a good time getting there. So
Oh my gosh, I hope I don't destroy the world.
yeah, can you imagine you open up a little wormhole and the whole thing gets sucked into a quantum field? I mean, yeah, I would totally blame you, but
Well,
yeah.
the
So
thing is, if that were possible, it would have already happened.
how do we know it hasn't? One of the views that I did was
Well,
a portal opening up in a bomber. It was a bomber, and there was a pilot with a leather jacket. There was a purple case next to him. There was all these instruments. So the kid was sitting in his bed, looking up at his roof. The portal opened up. He sees a pilot in a plane. The plane is flying. They're in the air. and all he sees is the inside of this pilot. And I went on, because I didn't know any details, I went on and I described, me and Aura actually did it. We described the pilot, we described the box, we described the edge of the portal. And according to this person, everything was correct. So we don't know if this has been done as far as a small quantum point opening up. I do know that there are portals out there, and we have made portals through time from point A to point B. And it was a scientific study. The U.S. government has it. And they have a small purple box on a Boeing 747, not 747, a bomber. And the study's been done a long time ago. So I'm thinking it was the 40s or 50s because of the type of jacket the guy was wearing. So I believe it's been done. Quantum fields, portals, and all that good stuff. I can't prove it.
Yeah, well, I mean, consciousness exists outside of time and space as far as I can tell. It means we're not limited by it, and all the proof people want is typically inside space, time, and reality, and we don't exist in there. So, you know, I'm not sure we can really prove anything on that sort of a level.
Oh, you found the patent.
Yeah, well, I printed it out. I've got it sitting right here because I lost it at one point. I couldn't figure out where it was on my computer, my phone. I had my phone and my tablet both seemed to get hacked, so I took their SD cards out and wiped them, and I did end up losing information. So I panicked and I printed it.
Who do you think's hacking you? Do you think it's
one of my friends ham radio. Well, so I do ham radio stuff, and one of my ham radio friends found this point-to-point mesh radio system, and we were going to try to make a contact between where I live in the middle of California and near Sacramento where he lives. So I set it all up, and he's like, no, we should, and you're supposed to encrypt all of what you say so that it's not all just public. Like, you can't do it that way. So it was true encryption that apparently cannot be broken between the 2 points, and everything got hacked after that. So I'm thinking, just like when I worked for a company doing a really large website, the moment you lock something down hard enough they can't see what you're doing, they will hack the hell out of you to figure it out. It's why I use Discord, because I don't want something secure. It's they hack you the most they can to see what you're doing. So I leave things open so that I don't want to be hiding anything. I don't want them breaking everything. And that's what I did, is I sent secure communications, and I think that was the trigger.
Right, and that's what I keep telling people on Discord that are saying things they probably shouldn't, is like, we're an open forum. You have to be careful because we are an open forum and we are being watched. I mean, the point.
Right.
Let's just go with the assumption that somebody wants to make sure we follow protocol. So let's follow protocol. And to me it's okay,
right,
because we're not dealing with anything. Well, yeah, I guess we are. We are going to places we shouldn't, and we're doing things we shouldn't. But none of it can be, it can all be written off as fantasy because it's not a provable thing. So it is kind of interesting. All right. Well, I'll tell you, you guys stay on. I want to keep chatting with you. So I'm going to go ahead and stop this stream for Discord, or for the YouTube.
Yeah. It's almost 2 hours.
Yeah, I know. So that was a good contest. That was a great target, by the way. So I really do appreciate it. Lynn, do you want to add anything here before I shut this down?
No, I think we are doing very good for this week, and we got a very interesting target from Space Cast Zero. I really appreciate it, even though we didn't really hit the target, but nevertheless, I still think it's a fun game, and we get a bunch of interesting data.
Yes, we
apart from the actual target. Yeah, like the people and and the general environment, things like that. And I believe that this kind of data also still has some potential for applications. Yeah, maybe people don't want stuff about the main target. They want some bad stories. Then maybe our data can be useful for them. Yeah. So anyway, I appreciate those who participated in all of this, and yeah, I think that's all good for this week. And I'll see you guys next time.
All right. Thank you very much.